Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and we've got a good one for you today because every bubble is about to burst right before our eyes, and all the signs point to this. And there's experts now coming out that they're concerned about everything from the stock market, housing, inflation, everything that affects each and every one of us, regardless of what industry you're in, who you are. This affects all of us. Before I get into it, please take a second to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got an email list below if you'd like to join the email list. Webull also has a stock promotion. If you'd like to set up a Webull stock account, you can do it for free, get a free stock. If you add a few bucks to the account, you get a free, another free stock. Let's get into it. First things first, JP Morgan and JP Morgan steps forward and says that there's going to be a major stock correction. There has to be at least 10% correction coming imminently, okay? Now, first things first, we have had 188 straight days, with the longest in over 100 years, that the S&P 500 has not dropped 5%. Okay, that's crazy when you think about that. There's a guy named Christian Mueller-Glissman from he's from Goldman Sachs. He steps forward and says the same thing. Basically, at the same time, these people step forward and says that a drop is imminent for the S&P 500. So if you're betting on stocks, things should go down 10%. We are at an all-time high right now for the S&P 500. And we've never seen anything like this in our history, and it is absolutely unprecedented. Today, I am in Huntington Beach, California at Central Park. This is a beautiful place. You can see the egret out there walking in the water. It's a nice little park that's got walking trails and things like that, but just very peaceful. You can bring the dog out here. They have kids' summer camps, a lot of cool stuff that go on out here, but just a really peaceful place to work and to hang out. They've got the Huntington Beach Library, which, as far as public libraries go, I think this is one of the best ones because they've got magazines, subscriptions for like the last 20 years for the same magazine. So it's kind of cool, kind of a place to bring your kids that's free. But I always check stuff out. When I was a single dad and the kids were living with me, you do anything you could to entertain them and spend as little dough as possible. So let's get into it. First things first, I've had a tremendous amount of people reach out to me today to let me know that the Biden administration wants to extend the eviction moratorium. Good luck, guys. Congress is on a 7-week vacation. While you lose your business, while you don't have any money, while you're going to get kicked out of your apartment or your house, they're on vacation right now, baby. So they're done. They're gone. They're doing whatever they want to do in their own districts. This is a good time to get a hold of your congressperson in their office because they're supposed to be there right now. That being said, a lot of people, if you want this thing extended, I would reach out to these people. The odds that they're going to come back and vote on something are going to be nil. Here's what's going to happen. The Biden administration still has over $30 billion in rent moratorium money. They want that money distributed. They're also talking about COVID cases increasing and that they want the rent moratorium extended for people in areas with more cases, okay? That being said, it's not gonna happen. The Supreme Court's already ruled on this. Appellate courts have already turned this over and said that this is unconstitutional. The CDC overstepped their bounds, and let the evictions begin. Now, the landlords. Okay, landlords are getting their karma. They're getting what's evil. I mean, all the stuff you guys write me, I read it all, okay, as much as I can. But again, if you're in the pizza business, okay, and people are eating pizza for free for 17 months, okay, I don't know how you'd survive. The whole thing with real estate right now, and that these people are somehow supposed to just survive not getting money for 17 months is beyond me. So, that being said, there's no voice for the landlords. It's tragic. You can be anti-landlord all you want, but you've got to understand that the idea in life is to get rich and move yourself forward and do something else with your life. You know, get ahead so that you don't have to work 7 days a week, okay? Real estate has always been the best thing for everybody to do that. So that being said, if you're against these people, you're against these people. But if you think that they're just going to flip a switch and extend this thing, there will be so much litigation, spoke to the law professor today who said they did overstep their bounds. This is not going to just happen overnight that they're going to extend these things. So get ready. There's going to be evictions, guys. May not be today, may not be tomorrow. Every jurisdiction is different. So here in California, it takes much longer to evict somebody than it does in different states. There are single day eviction states. And again, share your thoughts in your state. How is it? In Arkansas, it's considered a criminal offense if you don't pay your rent. So I wonder if that's still the case in Arkansas. Share your thoughts, guys. I really want to know what you think about this, and if you think that they're going to extend this thing for the next 2 years, okay? Look at the egret. It's knee deep, looking for food, going through the lake, kind of cool. There he goes. Oh, he got something. Now, the next story is about somebody we've all heard of in our life, and that is Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian has failed the baby bar exam again. Now, there was a bunch of fanfare about Kim Kardashian. She's going to be a lawyer and she's going to change the world. No, she's not. It's not going to happen. First things first, California has the toughest bar exam in the country. I know this firsthand because a very good friend of mine, she runs a bar prep company that teaches law students to pass the California bar exam. Now, I've worked with this business quite a bit over the last 6-7 years, and one thing that I've seen is it doesn't matter who you are. If you went to Harvard, if you went to Fordham, if you went to an online law school, every single student has a ton invested in this, in their law career. A lot of money, a lot of time. Even, it doesn't matter if they went to an online law school or they went to Harvard, they've all invested the same thing, time and money at that point. Kim Kardashian thought that she would just go in, she would get sponsored by a lawyer. Now, there's a loophole in California law that if you basically get sponsored and you work under a lawyer and you're supervised and you work in the law firm and you do everything, you can become a person that can take the bar exam. Now, hold your horses. Of course the press was saying, oh, she's going to be a lawyer, it's going to be fantastic. No, she's not. She has to do this thing called pass the baby bar. Now, the baby bar exam is what a lot of unaccredited law schools have you take to take the baby bar, and then you can join our law school. Now, Kim failed the baby bar once and just divulged the other day she's failed it a second time. The one score that was released was a 474 out of 560. You have to get at least a 70%. But here's the kicker, guys. If she does not pass the baby bar exam on the third try, she's barred from ever taking it. She's barred from ever becoming a lawyer. So for those of you that are students that have beat your brains out going to law school and learning everything and suffering and learning those 15 subjects that are on that bar exam, and again, I'm super familiar with this because the person that I work with, she's really one of the best people in the industry. She makes programs for people that are individually tailored for their needs. In other words, you can take big courses and everybody takes the same thing. You learn the same law, you learn everything. Her course is designed for you, and that if you and a friend walk up, you both take it differently. But that being said, it's not just something that, hey, I've been sued a lot, so I should be able to go and take the bar exam. It doesn't work that way, Kim. So she thinks that she's going to just take this exam and pass it. She's failed miserably, and now she's blaming it that she got sick, and it's ridiculous. So again, for those of you out there that are going through school, be economical with this whole thing. The single greatest comment on any of my videos so far was a woman that wrote in and said that my stepson has a master's degree in art. He can draw anything but a paycheck. So, okay. Now, again, an artist, it's great. The jokes, I think the thing's got 100 replies to it already. It's absolutely fabulous. But again, I get a kick out of people that get degrees that spend 100 grand on a poetry degree, okay? Hello, I make these jokes, but what are you gonna do with it? Now, Kim just thought because she's pretty to some, that she's going to pass this thing and change the world. It does not work that way. And again, the bar exam itself, I've seen people that have gone to my friend's business that have taken the bar exam 8, 9, 10, 11 times before they get through it. She gets these people through, but it is incredibly difficult to get through that exam. So share your thoughts. I really want to know what you think about this. And did Kim think she was going to get some special treatment with this and it kind of blew up in her face? I think so. Two things that I like to do is I like to reconnect with old friends, and I also like to learn about other industries that I'm not familiar with. And I always think that more knowledge is power when it comes to anything in business. I had the pleasure of reconnecting with someone that I knew when I was 12 years old. He and I went to junior high together, and just a great guy, but you know, life gets in the way. And I'd see him at high school reunions, we'd reconnect, and we kept saying we got to get together. Well, we finally did. Got together for 3 hours yesterday, had a fantastic lunch, but he is an expert in the foreclosure industry. And I got to talk to a man who's got basically 30 years of experience on the whole foreclosure process yesterday. And it was absolutely amazing. I learned about how they make their money, how they post houses, you know, when stuff goes into foreclosure, who's sending the foreclosure notices out, a little bit of everything. And it just absolutely worth its weight in gold to get this knowledge, first of all. But I'm telling you guys, there are times in history, like in 2005, 2006, this guy could not make a lot of money. There were no foreclosures. Basically right now, there's not that many foreclosures right now. There's just a tsunami that's pulling back and about to come launch forward that's gonna be bigger than ever, okay? So that's coming right now. And again, look at lessons in life, in financial lessons. If you look at the Depression, there were millions of people that made so much money out of those difficult times. You're going to see that right now. What industry can you get into right now that you can make a lot of money in? And if you sit there and don't think that the foreclosure industry is going to be busy, it's still, you know, a boots on the ground business where you've got to post houses, you've got to go there. They have to physically post those notices, and those people make good money doing that. So as horrific as that sounds, there's going to be a lot of need for this. And right now with these houses, these people that are overextended, that bought, you know, $1.8 million properties, and they put 20% down, and they've got, you know, these mortgages over $1 million, and somebody loses a job and they think that they're just going to refinance this place. They're delusional. So you're seeing a tremendous amount of foreclosures right now in the commercial space. It's about to get unleashed in the residential space. Now I am in what they call the secret garden of this place, which is kind of cool. It's a little walking track. People take photographs out here, and it's got a little trail that you can walk through, but very cool. But again, you know, you can sit there and say, oh, it's terrible that this guy makes money on the demise of people. No, he works for the banks, okay? You had no problem when this guy was not making money, but now you want somebody educated like this, somebody that knows the law, someone that knows exactly what the procedure is. Because here in California, once those notices get posted on people's doors, those sales happen in 21 days. They can either get canceled, the people can make good on the money, you know, they can file bankruptcy. That's pretty much it, guys. You know, or the houses get sold. You know, it's pretty much that simple. So you're going to see a lot of different things that come out of this. But the foreclosure industry is a great industry to get into. I'm also curious about people in the repo industry. I had a conversation this morning with Mr. X and JB today, and you know, we were going through the car industry and how crazy it is that you see car loaders loaded with vehicles that you know are not brand new vehicles and that they look like repossessions. But where are the repossessions right now? What is the status of all the repossessions? There must be just a slew of cars being popped right now. So share your thoughts, guys. I really want to know what you guys think of this. And, you know, are you seeing that? Because again, you know, we're being told how there's a high price for, you know, cars right now, and it's going to continue to skyrocket. Which brings me to another story I might as well get into right now, and that is the chip shortage. the chip industry, all the other manufacturers, not the top 20%, which is basically one or two companies that make all these things. They're talking about the chip shortages that are coming out are going to last through 2023. So you're gonna see car prices absolutely skyrocket, but if these people have no jobs, they're not gonna buy a car. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this plays out in the next even 60 and 90 days. You're gonna see some really interesting stuff come out of all this. So share your thoughts, and again, get some knowledge, connect with people. That's the one thing is I love to talk to people that are experts in certain industries and just sit down and ask them questions so I can have the knowledge of that. This guy happens to be a great friend, and you know, I asked him what I could talk about, what I didn't want to talk, what he didn't want me to talk about. So, you know, I'm being kind of, you know, top level stuff where I'm not really breaking any bonds or anything like that, or saying who he works for and works with. But again, guys, learn about the Great Depression, because what we're about to go through is going to make that look like a party. Isn't this cool? You get this algae bloom on the top of the lake. This happens twice a year. Now, as the channel grows, the cool thing is I get stories sent to me from around the world. And, you know, I love getting the news from England, okay? The Bank of England on the 5th of August is going to have a meeting to talk about the inflationary problems that they have, and that they think that their consumer price index for England has gone up basically 2%, and that inflation could be at a 3 to 5% level, okay? The story will be downstairs. When I say downstairs, it's in the video description, okay? Sorry about the Danism, but that's where it is. It's in the video description downstairs. Anyways, there's that beautiful algae bloom pool, which is kind of fun, kind of cool. So, but England has its own problems, and what they're doing is very similar to what they're doing here, which is, oh, don't worry, it's not that high, it's going to just be transitory. And that sounds like such an English word, transitory, but it's not, guys. You know that inflation is skyrocketing, and you know, people send me stuff all the time on meals and what they pay, and what they're getting from the grocery store, and what cheese is costing, and yogurt is costing, and tortillas, and just everything. And they're seeing it go up on a weekly basis, guys. So England's seeing that, but what England's seeing that's going to be a real problem is they're going to see massive shortages are projected for 3 weeks from now. Okay, how do they know that? The supply chains are broken. They're concerned that they're not going to have an adequate amount of food and supplies in certain areas. So again, guys, if you heard that there could be food shortages, check this place out, guys, by the way, as I get all heated in this. Isn't this cool? All these quiet places to sit down, the blocks right there. But if you guys heard this and you said there could be food shortages in 3 weeks, wouldn't you guys go to the store and stock up on stuff? Food, water, and the necessities. Dog food, that was a great thing that was recommended. Cat food, if you're a cat person, you know, have what you need. A little bit more, a little bit. You know, people are putting food and necessities on their credit cards right now, which is a real problem, and that's bad. And it just does lead to financial disaster when you do that. But again, people have to do what they have to do right now. But we're seeing inflation at such high levels right now here in the States, and they're starting to see them outside of the country. But what we're starting to see internationally is the same shenanigans that you have here, where they say, don't worry, it's all good. Look over here, it's the magic trick. And the idea with this, that it's only 5%, is nuts. It's much, much higher. Here in the States, they're talking about, you know, 13%. Dan thinks it's at 16%. Again, unemployment, you know, talking to unemployment at 6% is ridiculous. Unemployment's at like 25% is what I think. I know so many people that are out of work. I know so many people that have been dropped off they're not counted anymore right now. And that being said, it's creating such problems. But again, prepare for this right now. What is the worst thing that happens if Dan is wrong? You get your bills paid off. You got, you know, extra food in the house. You're safe, okay? And the other thing is utilities. You know, if you are behind on anything like this, you can negotiate all this stuff with your utility companies, okay? I've been broke, okay? And talking to my friend yesterday and going up and down in our lives over the last 25 years of things and where we were at. And one thing that he admired about me was when I told him that I had learned more from failing and I learned more from when things were really awful in my life. And I'm telling you guys, nobody wants to go through any of that stuff, but I've been there. I know there's a lot of people that watch this stuff that are going through it right now as I'm talking about this, but you can get through this, and you need to just one step at a time and get a base hit. And like my friend said, the best advice that you gave was just putting it together and getting one base hit at a time. And from that, you'll eventually score a run, and eventually from there, you'll get ahead and you'll move your life forward. Everybody wants a home run. Everybody wants the grand slam. Everybody wants a pile of cash thrown in their desk. It's not gonna happen to everybody, but just prepare yourself. Other countries are hearing the same nonsense that we're hearing, that don't worry about this stuff. But remember, your Congress is on a 7-week vacation right now, so nothing can get done, guys. There's nothing that's gonna happen during this time other than you taking care of yourself right now. So don't forget that. Share your thoughts, guys. I really wanna know what you guys think about all this. I'm gonna end this video on this story. Where there's a problem, they always figure out a way to fix it, it seems like. And Home Depot and the manufacturers of power tools are tired of getting things stolen and ripped off out of the retailers. So what they've done is these different drill companies, with cooperation from Home Depot, have created Bluetooth activated drills that when you purchase them, they get slid through this special scanner, and it activates the Bluetooth, which then makes the power tool work. So there has been billions of dollars in theft from major retailers, from Lowe's, from Home Depot, from every place else. Sears when they were open, and it's been a real problem. So Bosch, DeWalt, Old Milwaukee, whoever you purchase from, they're starting to set up these Bluetooth drills. And there's a cool story about this on a site called Hackaday, and I've got the link below for you guys to take a look at. But they're curious as to how this works, because people walk in, they steal drills. They do one of two things. They steal it and sell it on Facebook Marketplace and places like that, or they go to return it to a different store when they never purchased it. It was a gift from my wife. I don't have a receipt. They get a gift card, then they take the gift card and turn it into cash. Criminal live, okay? Anyways, please take a second to hit the like button, guys. Please share this with all your friends and colleagues. Again, the Patreon channel, if you'd like to join us there and get more access to me, that's below. The email list is below. Please sign up to that so you can get notified of cool things that we're doing. Onward and upward, guys, and I will see you very soon.